PEACH stands for Promoting Education and Community Health, and the organization has a really long history in the Jane Finch community. At PEACH, we really value creating safe spaces for young people, for welcoming young people into our space, recognizing their strengths, their assets. We don't work from a deficit model, we work from a strengths-based model. So, we create these really lovely, nurturing spaces, and a lot of youth programs around the Jane Finch community and around Toronto. We create these lovely, nurturing spaces where, youth are valued, they're recognized for their strengths, they're encouraged, there's lovely relationships that are built. But then as soon as young people go out into community, they're hit with those stereotypes where, just because you may wear your pants below your hips because it's a fashion statement, the community itself may recognize that as gang involvement. Or because you're black-skinned, you may belong to a gang. Or you're a young person, doesn't matter what skin color you are, you're out to do no good and to do mischief. Whereas young people generally aren't like that. Young people that we meet are enthusiastic about learning, they're enthusiastic and excited about their communities, they're great friends to each other, they're loyal, and the community doesn't see that. They only see what's in front of them, and they make their judgments and say, all young people are up to no good.
A lot of companies are failing nowadays is because they veer way off their mission statement.
Knowledge is privileged in this space. So this marketing campaign, it is super privileged.
We live in such isolated times right now, whereas we all come from places and homes where everyone got together to raise children, and it was a lovely, nurturing, warm relationship that you had with your auntie, your uncle, your grandma. And here everyone's so isolated. You go into your home, you close the door, and that's it. You may not even know your neighbors don't know you. So how do we break those walls and those barriers? And how do we go back to those notions of we're invested in everyone's children, whether they're my own or somebody else's, they belong to all of us. And how do we make sure that young people feel included in society as opposed to being so isolated and not allowed to join adult society until they're 18? So we found out about this model, and we really liked how simple it was. How simply, somebody can say hello to a young person, look them in the eye and say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Get to know their names and ask, had a good day today? Maybe not. Do you just want to talk? Imagine if those relationships exist all the time amongst community members. Young people would not feel isolated. They would feel included. They would not see the need, to go out and do other stuff and find other places to belong. And when a young person has something to talk about, they'll have adults in their lives to actually talk to them about it, as opposed to being so isolated. So that's where, this project really came about, is to say, how do we extend what we do in our space here in terms of welcoming young people, valuing young people, and make sure that the entire community also values young people.